So the judgment came in on this case that I have been looking at for quite a while because it does impact the way I make content for this channel. I'm somebody who loves to just walk around Japan, in particular the countryside. When I'm making a main channel episode, I like to go live and to share things behind the scenes, to give you a raw look at Japan, discuss issues like this. Anything can happen when you're live. That's sort of the excitement behind it, and also to have a lot of you watching. I can understand the attraction to doing this. I started in 2017 when I was hitchhiking, so I wouldn't be feeling alone when I was out there on the road, because again, anything can happen. It's nice to have witnesses out there. But that evolved into this channel. And over the course of the last 6 years of doing this, everything in here has been pretty good with live streaming. There's been some issues because Japan has the strictest, I think, of privacy laws maybe in the world. So it's really hard to do what I do. And the judgment and this case and this individual, who I think you don't know, there's something fully wrong with you when your mugshot is, when your shot of the police taking you away to jail is a big smile, honestly. But I don't actually need to even talk too much about this. Bradshaw Studio, how you doing? I really don't. The judgment is in, and we saw the writing on the wall for what the prosecutors asked for, which was 200,000 yen, or about, what is that, like $1,400 or something like that, $1,350, I think. And he'll be deported or sent away and banned. But one of the conditions is that he has to mark that he was convicted when he enters into this, so he might not be allowed back into the country, but he might be. It's a little bit gray area. This news was reported by Yahoo about 16 hours ago. Yeah, right here. And you can see that this is making big news here in Japan. And this is a reason why it's making a big impact on what I do. When you got somebody who is live streaming, even though we're totally different types of live streamers, I look at positive things, I want to share stories with you. He's trying to be a nuisance, disruptive, trying to shock people and get views in a country that this doesn't play very well here. There's a complete difference, but in the eyes of the majority of the people here in Japan, and the majority, not everybody, it's totally the same thing. All right, and here's the conditions of it. They lay it out pretty good. By the way, just a shout out to Jeffrey J. Hall on Twitter. This is the source where a lot of the other foreign YouTubers that are talking about this are getting their information. Jeffrey's a PhD at Kanda University, a specialist, a lecturer, knows a lot about this. Has been in Japan for a very long time. I can tell because he's recommending Second Harvest as one of the charities to donate to for the relief for the Noto earthquake in Ishikawa Prefecture, and he had information on this right away. Fined 200,000 yen, $1,381, must leave Japan via possible deportation. We're just not sure yet, but this is a guy who's been for over, it seems like a year. All right, he didn't get off scot-free. It's not just a fine, he's been in jail for 3 months, and that's not a good thing. All right, Japan has a 99% conviction rate. I don't know exactly what the rate is. It's infamously that high. Everyone talks about the conviction rate. It's because when you're in prison, from people that I've talked to, it's not a lot of people that I know that have been in prison, but they will try to extract a confession out of you. So I'm pretty sure that the 3 months that he was there was not a happy time for him, and he might feel regret. We just don't know. All right, I really don't know. And a lot of people are, 3 months is too short, so writes in Johnny in CLE, which I'm assuming is Cleveland. Go Cavs. I don't know. My feeling is his reputation, so in Japan, reputation is everything. His reputation is gone, all right? He has to say he's a convict, his future's gone. But the thing is, he's not Japanese, so he doesn't get this kind of a punishment. It doesn't hit him the same way that it would hit somebody who was Japanese, dishonoring your family, all this stuff. All right, he doesn't get that. So he's American, this is a slap on the wrist in those terms, right? What did he really do? He didn't kill anybody, he didn't do a violent crime, although words can lead to violence, as we all know. We all still believe that it's not enough. But we just want to get him out of the country. Two things on this, okay? And then I'm going to move on because I really don't need to spend a lot of time on this. But as somebody in this community, and I think when this happens in your community, you have to speak up. I really do think that you have to put your words out there and tell others that are coming to Japan that this is not good. This is people in our community, other YouTube creators that live here in Japan. I think because it impacts what we do here so badly. And when Logan Paul did the things that he did, what was it, like 6-7 years ago? It hurt me very much in the way that I do business. I could not get access and permission to film at multiple locations for about a year because he had just damaged the reputation of YouTube in Japan for a solid year. And then eventually, you know, the good things that we do come back and repair the damage that's done. But then here we go again. We've had the streamers last year do it, and I'm hoping that this year doesn't change. Before I give you more opinion on this came from, already we're seeing around the city of Tokyo and in Osaka, in particular Osaka too. This was at the post office, and I'm not sure who would live stream at the post office besides maybe me. And by the way, I did ask permission to take this photo to tell people about this, and the manager of the post office, who I know very well because I'm there like all the time, said, sure, take a picture, but you know, just don't take anybody's faces and be very polite about it. It says here to protect the privacy and personal information of the customers and employees, and to ensure the security, we strictly forbid photograph and recording in the post office premises without permission from the Postmaster General. We appreciate your understanding and cooperation, and I completely understand. I mean, I'm not going to be live streaming in the post office anyways. I do take pictures of me sending the postcards there, but I try to blur people's faces or do it with depth of field and try to be really respectful. People are still using their smartphones. People still take pictures and stuff like that. But this changes a lot of stuff, the way that I do the things. There's signs like this inside of train stations. There's signs like this inside of convenience stores. I've always had a no camera thing, but it now, even in a small town, people are looking at me live streaming because they know what I'm doing. It's very odd, but the reputation of what this is not good in Japan right now. It might change over time, but it's not a great thing because it invades people's privacy. It makes them feel uncomfortable. And then when you have somebody like this creator do what he did, which is not good, it makes people think that you doing the same thing have malicious intent. And the judgment on this individual, I don't have to keep saying his name, is that he had malicious intent. He didn't turn the sound down. He had lots of excuses, but the judgment came out that he had malicious intent, and that's really damaging to him, not to, but also to me. I'm not the same person. Hopefully this can get Leo some snacks at Lawson's. You got it. Actually, today is Kanai's birthday, and this week is, and we bought her a cake. I put it on Instagram. It was a beautiful princess cake. And today I'm taking Kanai and Leo to Yokohama to stay at a hotel there overnight, because one of the things that Kanai wanted was a hotel breakfast, like a really good one. So we're gonna go do that. I've been saving up points for this. It's a really nice hotel, and I'll tell you about it a little bit later. But back to the point, and thanks guys for asking about that. We have a wonderful community of people here. For those that aren't, you know, on watch only in Japan, this is my live streaming channel. It's been a while since I tuned in live. Not to stray away from the topic, just wanted to wish you and the family a Happy New Year. All the family coverage and the friendly nature has been greatly appreciated throughout. Thank you, Austin. Yeah, I appreciate it. And that like this channel is supposed to be a beacon of positivity, but I do think that this is maybe the last stream, hopefully, on this. I know our moderators don't like it when we do things off of the path of good, and we stray into the path of the wicked here. And this is sort of where we are right now. But we have some amazing moderators too that will do a good job of. Thank you guys. So, look, there's an American trait that's as Christian as can be, that goes back to the founding of our country. Like, people can redeem themselves, and you can have a second chance. And if you didn't have that, then there would be no hope, all right? There would be no, like, what would you live for? People make mistakes all the time. The mistakes that this guy did is pretty wicked, all right? But then there's another side of me that says that, look, you know, maybe he'll change. We know that he probably won't, but maybe he will. And, you know, I've changed over the years. So I think that that's one of the considerations that you have. I was reading the comments. There are people who have pity on this guy. I don't know if I don't have any pity on him, but I do think that people can change. And I think that that's a very American trait that is good, because I know that one day I might make a massive mistake that could damage my reputation, and I would like to think that I could have a second chance. So I'm in that light not going to be the most virtuous person in the world and say that you know, this guy's not going to be, but he could change his name. He could get a different name. He could get cosmetic surgery. I don't think that changing your name is going to do much good. Not with facial recognition and all this stuff that's probably going to be coming in Japan in 2025 for the expo. I bet you're going to have facial recognitions to enter. So even if you changed your name and you get a new passport under a different name, I'm pretty sure that he's going to have a pretty difficult time coming into Japan. You can't really lie your way out of it unless you have cosmetic surgery these days. I'm just trying to think outside the box here, because he really wanted to come back to Japan, and I don't think he's really going to have that opportunity. But who knows? Again, people can redeem themselves. I don't think in this case, it's no pity, no redemption. I've never heard of him. Good. Yeah. All right, everybody. That's all that I really have today. I'm interested to hear. Thank you, Mr. Clayton. Appreciate that. I wanted to keep this really positive, but I want to mention that what you do in Japan impacts the way the perception that Japanese have of all non-Japanese. All right, what you do in this country as a tourist impacts the way people see me as someone who lives here for 25 years. And I'm happy, I'm fine if no one thinks that I'm Japanese, if people don't, you know, I'm not. I've been here 25 years. I probably have more Japanese traits than I have American traits, believe it or not. I'm somewhere in the gray world here. But when stuff like this happens and makes the news, it hurts me. It hurts Japan. It hurts the people around me, but it hurts the perception that people have of me that don't know me. And my reputation, somewhat wide, also is, you know, doesn't translate so well out here, where people don't know who the heck I am. They just see me as another non-Japanese person with a camera doing something that could be malicious because another guy did it. Actually, it was more than another guy. There was a lot of people who did it. And what you do matters. So, look, this doesn't impact anybody in our community that is watching this, because everybody who that I know in this community is really good. In fact, people ask questions on how they can avoid offending other people, which I think is not the point. I think that you don't have to worry about offending other people. You can be a guest. You're a guest here in Japan, but there's a limit to where you can and cannot go. And I think that limit, as with common sense, is pretty clear how far you can go. So, with that said, I don't think I'm going to be doing as many live streams. I'm still going to do live streams out here, especially to show you new places. Like, we were just in Fukushima, maybe about 3 or 4, I think it was like a kilometer away from the meltdown. We were in Fukushima just 2 or 3 days ago. And then I caught a cold, and then now I'm okay again. But I'm probably going to be doing some podcasting on this channel. I've bought a mic, I bought all the equipment, audio stuff, attachments for the desk, and we'll be able to talk about these issues in the comfort of a somewhat studio, which is a safer environment, because I have to change along with the situation, and it's just more and more uncomfortable to be live streaming in Tokyo and the big cities, because I really do care about people's privacy. I do want to do things the right way. It's getting harder and harder to do that, but I also need to keep this channel going and to answer some of your questions, as well as share some of the things I know about this amazing country. And I think it's important that I keep doing that too, because a lot of people, a lot of areas need the help. A lot of places need a light shined on them, and that's really important. But yeah, what has happened with this has impacted me greatly. And that's why I'm covering this right now. I'm not blaming, there's no blame except for this guy. Well, there's blame. Yeah, you can blame this guy because all these signs are a reaction. You have to know how Japan works. Japan is a very reactive country. I use this example quite a bit. A dude flew, when the drones came out, like 10 years ago, a dude flew the drone and it landed on the prime minister's roof. Like within a week, all drones were banned. All drones were banned. You could not fly a drone. And then they made decisions and then they relaxed the rules. Like only like pilots, who licensed pilots, and there was no association to give people the accreditation, what's the word? Licenses at the time. It was like the Wild West of drones. But this is what Japan does. They're very reactive to this, and it'll get better, but they clamp down hard. And I can feel it, and that's the point. And I'm hoping that with him leaving and this case dying and more people being perhaps more careful when they come here to Japan and just having general respect, everything will be okay again in 2024. I'm very, accreditation. Yeah, I knew that was, I figured that was it. Thank you, Carrie, lifesaver. Certification, David, thank you. See, look, we have, this is an exchange of information. I love it. That's really good. All right, everybody, have a good day, have a good night. I'm taking the Kanai to Yokohama. Perhaps I'll share some things with you. On Saturday, I have a live stream from the Yokohama fish market. I think we're gonna cut open a fish. It's gonna be really interesting. I think they're gonna carve like a $100,000 tuna for me and let me live stream it at the Yokohama fish market, which is the best alternative to Tsukiji market and Toyosu market, which is really crowded and kind of strict with all the rules there. Yokohama's fish market is pretty darn good, the central fish market there. So I'll definitely be doing that on Saturday. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. I look forward to hearing your comments and reading it over the next few hours, because it seems like this ordeal is over. Was it a slap on the wrist? Could more be done? Do you think this will dissuade people from doing it again? Do you think it's gonna happen again? Love to hear from you. Mata ne. Oh, I'm still here. It's like a little Ferris Bueller moment. Thank you, David Kimura, and thank you, Austin and everybody else. I appreciate it. Off I go.